Barbershop Conversation, guys. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Instagram at Silent Heroes, and I have a backup channel too. Click that link too as well. I want to talk about something. You guys see the title. Anthony Joshua is a fearful man that doesn't love boxing. And let's break this down for you guys. I don't believe he's fearful in terms of afraid of Deontay Wilder 100%. That's the total of him being fearful. He said something that was real telling in a post-fight interview. He says we got the country on our back, and he mentioned he went down a list of fighters. I think he's afraid of crashing. He's afraid of failure. He's afraid to walk down the street and no one knows his name. The horse that has no name. You know, yesterday he was California Chrome, and now he's just a tourist horse in Central Park. You know what I mean? That's what I think his biggest fear is. He's so afraid to take a risk. He's been so calculated for so long, and he hasn't had to take a risk. You know, I equate him to a physically gifted. Let's be honest. He looks like he's a physically gifted athlete. You understand? I think he probably would have been an NFL DN of some sorts, and because he wasn't tough enough, like a Kwame Brown, like a Tony Mandridge, like a Brian Bosworth, just wasn't mentally tough enough to put the work in. You know, you understand where I'm coming from? Had all the talent. Purvis Ellison had all the talent, all the skills, but just never really panned out. And it's not because of injuries. It's just because he had no canine teeth in him. And I think that's... And the thoughts of him failing and not being respected paralyzes him. I watched the post-fight interview, and I'm sitting there listening to how measured he is. There's no emotion. It looks like he's on a leash. Eddie Hearn. Correct me if I'm wrong. You guys feel free to watch the post-fight interview too. It's up on everybody's channel that covered the fight over there. And I had a sense that he couldn't say anything that was out of line. If he said anything that was out of line, he would get like reprimanded. You know what I mean? Like Eddie Hearn is sitting over there with a stoic face watching him speak, and I'm like, there's no emotion. You know, like we all know he turned down $50 million with a percentage of the upside of the fight. So $80 to $100 million he turned down. But he is so afraid. He is so afraid. He's been labeled and created the last 10 years. I don't know when he started boxing. I don't know the year he started. But he like his boxing style is who he is. He's robotic. He was created in a laboratory. We don't know if that's Anthony Joshua's true personality. Is he an A-level fighter? He is an A-level fighter. Is he an elite fighter? I'm uncertain of that. I'm not sure that he is an elite fighter. I know he's an A-level fighter. Can he beat everyone else? There's two people I don't believe he can beat, and that's Luis Ortiz and Deontay Wilder. I think he and Tyson Fury would be a hell of a fight. You know what I mean? It would be a great game of chicken. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be a rock'em sock'em type of robot type of fight. You understand where I'm coming from? So, but there's something in him. When I listen to him speak, you know what I mean? He's the guy in the movies that gets everybody caught when they rob the bank because the car isn't where it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? He's the best man that forgets the ring at home. There's something missing in him, guy. I'm trying, and feel free to put in the comment section. I'm uncertain if people have the same sentiment that I feel, but there's something missing. You understand what I'm saying? I remember Javon Curse was a freak of nature, right? When he played for the Houston Texans. Who he played for? You guys know he went to Florida. Javon Curse was a freak. They used to mic him up every time he played on Monday Night Football, right? He had something special about him. He had that it. And he was a what he put 9-10 years, but when he performed. Like, I almost put Anthony Joshua in the same realm as Cam Newton. Remember, Cam Newton didn't dive on the football in the Super Bowl? Remember that? He didn't dive on it. That bothered me. And that's my two memories of Cam Newton, is him in a romper and him not diving on that ball in the Super Bowl against the Denver Broncos. There's something about him, man. There's something about him that I just can't put my finger on, but there's an ingredient missing. You know what I mean? Like when you don't put the yeast in something so it doesn't rise, you don't put the sodium in it so it doesn't. There's something. I'm uncertain of it, but it's an intangible quality that that's not tactile. You can't buy it. You can't create it. He is his talent will take him so far. But that skill to dig deep, that skill, as I tell you guys in a lot of videos, that skill to show up on the 30th or the 31st of the month, to leave the house and come back with the rent, or to come back with the mortgage or the car payment, or your son's or daughter's school clothes. There's something. He doesn't have that. You understand what I'm saying? And he's going to be filthy rich when this is all said and done. But he's the guy that will have 10 girlfriends and 4 wives. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to grasp it. I'm really, really trying to grasp it. Maybe it's the culture over there. I'm uncertain of that. If you're from the UK, feel free to put it in the comment section, but I'm not feeling it right now. I'm really, really not feeling him because of the comments he was saying. He is the heavyweight champion of the world. You have every right to be an alpha male. You have every right to be aggressive. You have every right to be the king of the universe, right? He's like the fastest man on the planet. The heavyweight champion is the baddest man on the planet. No one can beat him. You guys remember that joke growing up? If Mike Tyson hits your girlfriend or your wife, what do you do? That's equivalent to Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. Like, what do you do if they hit your wife? You understand what I'm saying? So he doesn't pose that. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have that in him. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give you guys a glimpse of what it looks like, the new stadium. It's kind of dark, but I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm driving by it. That's the Raiders and the Chargers new stadium coming soon. So, but there's something we've all had teammates that didn't go the extra mile for the team. He has that kind of characteristic. But at the end of the day, him and Deontay Wilder will have to meet. Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua's legacy is defined by one another. Like it, love it, or hate it, they are defined. They are Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, the Four Horsemen in the 80s. You understand what I'm saying? The rematch of Tarver, Roy Jones, that fight had to happen. You know what I mean? You're just defined by it. You can't escape it. There's no way you can escape it, And that's the stone cold truth. So, at the end of the day, I'm excited for this fight to happen. He's hiding behind his own words, and at the same time, he's digging his grave. When you listen to him speak, we're going to put out a poll. You're the heavyweight champion of the world. You're quote-unquote the cash cow of boxing. You dictate who you fight next. like I just said in the previous statement, you are the king of the jungle. You are the lion, the elephant, whoever you want to be. You're both. You don't ask the fans who you want to fight. You dictate. I'm fighting. I'm gonna knock Deontay Wilder out in my next fight, and that's what it's gonna be. He needs to beat Tyson Fury. I would love to have some preliminary negotiations in place just in case. You understand what I'm saying? But I would love to have a verbal agreement. But we know the verbal agreement is there, just not on your terms anymore. Deontay Wilder will be ace high. Will be, quote unquote, the baddest man on the planet on the east side of the pond and the west side of the pond. It's like I'm a blood and a crip. But he will be once he knocks out Tyson Fury. And that is going to be one of the ugliest knockouts in recent history. Tyson Fury's long legs is going to be dangling every which way. Watch what I say. Because at the end of the day, you can't escape. Anthony Joshua will not be able to escape Deontay Wilder's right hand. There's just no way about it. There's just no way around it. But let me know how you guys feel in the comment section. It's an intriguing conversation. It's just something about him. I don't think it's complete fear in Anthony Joshua as it relates to Deontay Wilder. I think it's fear of not succeeding, fear of the backlash of not succeeding, fear of saying I put 100% in and I expect 100% out. We know a lot of people who have built-in excuses. Maybe I'm getting closer to where I need to go. He has a lot of built-in excuses. You know what I mean? In himself. He has a lot of self-doubt. That's it. Self-doubt. Self-doubt. That's why meditation and being cathartic and talking is important. It took me 12 minutes to get to that point. He has self-doubt. Self-doubt is the word. Anyways, man, barbershop conversations, man. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. And have a great Saturday. I love y'all. Be careful out there. It's Saturday night. Have a great time. No drinking and driving. I think that's one of the more selfish crimes you ever can commit. Be careful. Don't get no one pregnant. Have a great time, y'all. Peace.